Well, it's Championship Sunday here in Chicago, Illinois, and we get set to conclude the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. It's the Senior Baseball Division Championship game between 4-0 Chicago White Sox Nike RBI and 3-1 Indianapolis Nike RBI, and a trip to the Nike RBI World Series in Florida is on the line. With that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. He's James Wink, and I'm Kevin Later. Thanks for stopping by. James, this White Sox Nike RBI team has looked like a powerhouse. Their junior team is just finishing celebrating a win in their division championship game over Indianapolis. They've been really good. We got a chance to watch them on Friday. What's the key to victory for them?
Yeah, the key to victory for them is specifically going to be that hitting on the road. Of course, they're very strong with the bats. They have a lot of heavy hitters, and that's going to be their key.
And for Indianapolis, they're a 3-1 team. They were 2-0. They were absolutely dominant. They were in first place based off the tiebreakers after day one. They lost their opener yesterday morning, and since then they were able to bounce back. But what do they need to avoid?
Yeah, if you're looking at that game against Milwaukee, definitely facing themselves up against with those mental errors, and pitching was a struggle, specifically since off the bump with Milwaukee. So if you're going to win this upcoming game against the White Sox, that's got to be their key. Lots of composure.
Well, we got Chicago and Indianapolis for you here in this one. A senior baseball title and a trip to Florida will be decided right after the other side of this break. Gorgeous view at the Chicago skyline, and then down below, Curtis Granderson Stadium. We're set to go for this Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament Senior Baseball Division Championship game between Kenwood's Kavari Thunderbird and this Indy lineup, Chicago and Indy. Here we go. Kavari Thunderbird used to pitch in the biggest stage. He pitched at Wrigley Field at the city championship game in the high school level this year for his high school, Kenwood. He's used to facing talented lineups as well. Now hits the ball here for the first time in this tournament.
And what a way to start off. We get the heavy pitcher versus the heaviest hitter on this team.
Micah Rinsha-Kirikov, and he takes that fastball upstairs for ball one. Rinsha-Kirikov won the home run derby back on Thursday night in the tournament's opening festivities. And a solid bat for John Boggs' team all weekend long. The 1-0. That one misses down and in there. A year removed from a trip to this regional tournament where Indy went 2-2. They've never won a regional title. And with the offense they put on display this weekend, the odds are definitely in their favor.
Yeah, definitely in their favor, going 3-1.
Their lone loss came yesterday morning to Milwaukee, and they just had the case of early game in a long weekend tournament, first game of the day, and they just struggled. Their offense kind of fell asleep. Same with their defense as well. 3-0 from Thunderbird. Downstairs and a leadoff walk for Micah Rinsha-Kirikov to get the ball game going.
Yeah, it was one of those games. It was a 9 a.m. game coming back on Saturday. They had two back-to-back games on Friday. So a little bit of fatigue, I'm sure, but they're right back at it, and Rinsha-Kirikov is able to get himself aboard with a walk.
Indy in the red, White Sox in the gray. There's a throwback to first, and Rinsha-Kirikov's in there with a dive. Thunderbird firing that one over to Jimmy Downs, the first baseman for Chicago.
Keep your eyes on him. He's really fast on the base paths.
Fastball misses away. Thunderbird struggling to find the strike zone so far. An electric fastball. He sits low 90s, around 92, 93. I'll check you on the runner, and Downs stumbles a little bit. I don't think he got the tag applied there on Rinsha-Kirikov. Still in search of the game's first out. Combs as the hitter. He's the left fielder for Indy today, and he takes that one below the zone. It squirts out of the mid of Angel Castro, the catcher, and Rinsha-Kirikov heads up base running, takes second.
Rinsha-Kirikov very fired up there as the ball is just not squeezed by Castro. He can't really find it. Able to easily take it. Second.
So now running scoring position here for J.J. Combs. Plays all over the place defensively for John Boggs' team. We have seen him this weekend at short, at third, left, and right.
A whole lot of different positions, and that's what you love as a manager.
Here's a strike with a Thunderbird fastball. Works from the third base side of the rubber. Butler, the shortstop, creeps. Here's the next offering. Foul straight back, and the count evens out. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Combs just getting a little bit of a piece of it. He just squeezes himself to stay alive in this count.
2-2. Fastball backed up on him. And we go full.
These have been some really great battles by the 1 and 2 hitters by Indy. You got to be happy with that as the coach.
Three, 2. Called. Strike 3. Fastball outside corner. And Combs is retired for the first out of the ball game.
A good strikeout by Kavari there. He's able to paint that outside corner. Becoming a little bit of an artist there.
He threw over 5 shutout innings in that city title game against Lane Tech at Wrigley Field back in late May. Struck out 11 in that outing. As a slider backs up on him and runs high for a ball. Like we said, fastball low 90s. He has a slider that'll sit mid to low 80s. With break to the inside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter like DJ Mendez is. He's the shortstop who takes a strike as the count evens out. Ball one. Fastball in there, 1-2.
Yeah, and if you're Mendez here with that 1-2 count, you got to be looking a little bit more of that breaking ball. But if you're Kavari, you're kind of thinking he hasn't swung. Maybe I just blow one again by him.
Time is called before the next offering.
Good use of time used by DJ Mendez. He tries to collect himself and figure out what pitch Thunderberg is going to use next. Being 1-2, I'm assuming he's going to go fastball again.
That's where he got Calms to look at. That's at the runner. The next offering, fouled back by Mendez, who stays alive. And this was the dream scenario when talking to the coaching staff of the White Sox Nike RBI team in preparation for the tournament. Troy Williams, their manager of community baseball programs, talked about Kavari and being able to hold him as there's a call, third strike. Outside corner, 2 away. Putting a bow on Thunderbird, though, that if they can wait to use him until the final, that means that good things have happened for them over the course of the weekend. Thunderbird has not pitched until right now, which the 4-0 record indicates that good things have happened for this program.
Yeah, not just good things, great things have happened with this White Sox program as you really want to save your A's, especially in tournament play, until that championship game, and they're getting to do just that as Kavari is able to just ease up after walking the first.
0-1, slice to the right side, out of play off the bat of Will Jacobs. Jacobs is playing first base today. Part of the dynamic duo that helped Indy slug their way to 2-0. Following tournament play on Friday, the first full day of pool play for teams, Indianapolis as a team had 23 runs on 19 hits. The 0-2 though, Jacobs stays alive.
Yeah, Will Jacobs was one of those key factors. I mean, he has such great bat to ball speed as he's able to connect. We were able to see that actually. He had a 2-run shot earlier on in the tournament.
Thunderbird steps off, and he calls in for Castro and Demarion Butler as well.
Just discussing how to hold on the runner, as well as what pitch to possibly throw to Will Jacobs here as he's down in the count 0-2.
Two-strike count. Thunderbird struck out the last 2 hitters. And a fly ball to center field will hang up there. Thomas underneath it makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So nothing comes of the leadoff walk. Good job by Thunderbird. White Sox Nike RBI to bat when you come back. Inside Curtis Granderson Stadium, no score as we enter the home half of the first. And Kamari Thomas, the center fielder, will lead things off, going up against Weston Harvey, the right-handed pitcher for Indianapolis, making his second appearance of this tournament. Thomas weathers Heidelberg to lead things off, the three outfielders for Chicago, as the first pitch is cut on and missed, strike one on a fastball. Harvey sits upper 80s. We saw him on Friday against Kansas City. Was sensational in just one inning of work. He was the opening game starter for Indy Nike RBI. Here's the 0-1, swinging a line drive, right center field. That one's down for a base hit. A nice job by Caceres to cut it off, but he drops it. He gets the backup from Rinsa Kirikov, but Thomas is in the second base with a leadoff double.
And Kamari Thomas able to secure himself on the second base already. That's what you really want as a White Sox RBI squad. Great power off the bat. This bounces off of the right fielder's mitt, able to secure it and not able to cut it off.
So Jonah Weathers will come on up, runner in scoring position. We saw that for Indianapolis. They got a runner in scoring position with leadoff man Micah Rinsa Kirikov. Nothing came of it though after Thunderbird got 2 strikeouts and a flyout in the frame. Weathers takes a strike. Left fielder to this afternoon in this championship game. Carr plays in as he squares the bunt. He pops up the bunt. It drops in front of Harvey, the pitcher. He collects it. It's for the first. Not in time. Weathers beats it out. And they're on the corners already for White Sox Nike RBI.
Man, Jonah Weathers with an amazing bunt. It just bloops up a little bit. Harvey tries to come crashing in. Throws it off to the first baseman, and it's just not in time as Weathers is able to display an amazing amount of speed.
So DeMille Heidelberg to hit here. Runner on the move for second, pitches a strike, and Brian Lockhart, the Indy catcher, will eat the throw. And Weathers is on second.
Lockhart just cocks it back and it just eats it, knowing if throws it to second, Thomas is going to end up scoring on all the speed that they have.
On the ground, a short runner coming home. Throw there is offline as Lockhart may have gotten hit in the process as Thomas slides in safely. Yeah, hit in the face. They're going to call for the trainer here as Lockhart and Thomas came close together. Thomas was trying to avoid the slide, or avoid the tag, I should say, and slide in safely. Lockhart was just following the path of that baseball that came from DJ Mendez, the shortstop. They're going to walk Lockhart off of an athletic trainer. And is provided here for the teams in this weekend's tournament. Yes. That ball unfortunately took him into the path of the base runner. We'll step aside for a moment while Lockhart gets some attention. Be right back. Jimmy Downs to the plate here. 1-0 scoreline. With runners on the corners, no one out here. Lockhart is okay. He's remained in the game to catch. And first pitch swinging, Jimmy Downs pops that one foul out of play on the left side.
Yeah, we're glad that Brian Lockhart is okay. We saw him guarding his face a little bit earlier. Goes back to with the athletic trainer, talks it through, able to stay in the game.
Run on the move for second. Slow curve drops in there. It's 0-2, and Heidelberg will easily take without a throw from Lockhart. Once again, that's what we talked about earlier, though. The same strategy, runner on the corners. As Downs goes down swinging for a massive first out there for Weston Harvey.
Yeah, Weston Harvey able to catch a little bit of a break there, striking out Jimmy Downs. Downs being the representative for the White Sox in their home run derby on Thursday.
First pitch fouled back. There's Jimmy Downs. Goes out there. Angel Castro cuts and misses in that one. One away. Second and third. White Sox Nike RBI have a chance to get some early insurance runs here in this one. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, Castro just having a tough time as Harvey just plays with him, able to use his velocity to his advantage. It's a big whiff by Castro.
1-2. Down and away. Castro is the catcher.
Brian Lockhart able to just squeeze that baseball. That could have been one for the ages where the Sox would have at least scored one.
On the ground at third. This will bring in the run in as Pine shuffles it over to first. Slow throw, not in time. Infield hit there for Angel Castro. 2-0 Chicago out in front. Nothing really Jack Pine, the third baseman, could do about that one.
Yeah, Pine really couldn't do anything about that one. The ball just dies out into the field. He's hustling and bustling all of his way and tries to throw it to first. It's just a weak throw and a little bit of a weak hit. So he does all of he can, but it's just not enough.
We're on the move for second. That one's lined to right and foul. Joey Ireland, the second baseman, up. Heidelberg on third, Castro on first. Only one gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Ireland, a middle infielder out of Homewood, Illinois. We'll watch a pickoff attempt of Castro at first.
This already being the sixth batter up that Harvey's already had to face. It's one of those instances where fatigue is definitely going to come in, especially with it only being the bottom half of the first.
On the move for second, and an easy taking there. Yes. It's a 2-strike count on Ireland. We saw a crooked number in the first inning for the junior White Sox program against Indianapolis not too long ago. And he lays up an upstairs heater. Upper 80s there from Harvey.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the same that we're seeing from the senior division as they're already tacking on 2.
Left side of the infield's in. Oppo side is back. That one's grounded to short. Backhanded by Mendez, the shortstop. Throw to first. Gets Ireland by a step, and there's 2 away.
Mendez looking at third base, just seeing if he's going to go, and decides to pull the trigger to first instead, making sure that he gets the easy out of Ireland.
So the designated hitter, Evian Rodriguez, will come on up. A pair of ducks on the pond for him as the right side of the infield shifts back. Second baseman Hunt is playing on the edge of the outfield grass as Rodriguez lays off a high fastball for ball 1. Heidelberg on third. courtesy runner for Angel Castro on second, the 1-0. That's the left side and through for a base hit. Heidelberg in to score. They'll hold the trail runner at third. It's 3-0 White Sox Nike RBI as Evian Rodriguez has himself an RBI single.
Yeah, a little bit of a slapper on the opposite side. He's able to get it through that gap between third and shortstop. Able to make sure that the runners are on the corners. The third base coach holds a stop sign for that trail runner.
So Philip Thigpen, the third baseman now, takes that one high. Thigpen's the 8th batter to come to the plate for the White Sox Nike RBI team here in the first inning.
If you're Harvey here, you're kind of just wishing for the baseball gods to give yourself a break.
Fly ball right field, hangs up for Caceres, who secures it, and that will end the inning. But it's a good frame for White Sox Nike RBI. They put up 3 runs on 4 hits, and they strand 2. We've played 1 here from Curtis Granderson Stadium at the MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. Top of the second inning here from Curtis Granderson Stadium. Carter Hunt, the second baseman for Indy, leads things off as they trail by 3. Cav Miller and James Winken here. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be. As Kavari Thunderbird is ready to rock and roll for his second inning of work. A relatively uneventful first for him, but it's been quite some time since he last threw a pitch, as Chicago sent 8 batters to the plate in the home half of the first inning. Thunderbird's 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
And with 8 batters going up in 1 inning for the Sox, that gives Kavari a lot of rest. He's able to stay fresh on the bump.
Here's the 2-0. And granted, as that one's in there for a strike, I know they scored 3 runs, and every pitcher loves run support. But is there almost a time where it's too much time in the dugout for a pitcher?
Yeah, there's definitely some times where it's too much time. That's why a lot of pitchers, when they're in the dugout, they're stretching, trying to stay loose. Usually they have a towel and doing some towel warm-ups as well. That's one thing that we definitely see with a lot of pitchers.
So 3 balls and 1 strike is the count. Carter Hunt, class of 2024, recent graduate of Anderson High School in Anderson, Indiana. Swings and sends a fly ball straightaway left field. Jonah Weathers racing back edge of the track. He squares and makes a catch for a long and loud first out here in the second inning.
A great piece of contact there. Jonah Weathers has to use a drop step, then backing up. He then backpedals and is able to make the grab and secure the first out for the White Sox. That's the thing with these indie hitters, when they're going to make contact, and especially with Kavari's fastball as an outfielder.
So that one's fouled off to the right side.
And Lockhart just a little bit late on that last pitch. He was thinking about that for a little bit. Decides to not pull the trigger. Really good decision to not do that as the ball just goes deep in the ground.
Lockhart, his first go around. He's been busy back behind the plate already. After looked at in the bottom of the first inning after collision at the plate. Line drive that drops in on one hop in front of Ireland. Wasn't sure if he should catch it, so he let it play the one hopper. It's in time for out number 2.
A good quick second out right there. Ireland is able to grab the baseball off that one hopper, toss it off to the first baseman, and just like that, Sox are quickly in their second out already.
So if 2 gone and no one aboard, here's Jack Pine. Pine playing third base today. As Thunderbird gets that one in there for a strike. A fastball on the inside corner. You'll see a lot more fastballs to right-handers than you ever will breaking balls with Thunderbird, especially his slider of his, because of the motion of it. As Pine shoots that one foul off of first.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, righty on righty battle. Of course, you want to also jam the hitters as much as possible, so you get that advantage of throwing that fastball in on the hands.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Goes curveball to sit down Pine, and that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down goes Indy. We go to the home half of the second right after this. We're in the bottom of inning number 2. And Damarion Butler, the shortstop, will lead things off, followed by the top of the Chicago lineup. White Sox Nike RBI sent 8 men to the plate in inning number 1, scoring 3 times on 4 runs. They stranded a pair on the corners.
Yeah, and if you're the White Sox right now, you're just building off of that.
As Harvey connects with a first pitch strike.
And by building off of that, you have to make sure that you're able to make some really good contact, which the Chicago White Sox RBI team has done, rightfully so, in that first. Sure, a lot of communication on what pitches Harvey has been throwing, especially at that mid to lower 80s.
This is off. Butler, rising senior at De La Salle here in Chicago. Takes that one upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike for the Chicago team. They were in this game here in this tournament the last 2 seasons. Butler pops up 3-1 in the right field, drifting back Caceres. The right fielder makes the catch shoulder high for the out.
Man, he loved that pitch, but it just gets right under it.
So one gone, lineup card flips over for Kamari Thomas, but White Sox have been in this game each of the last 2 years this tournament's been in Chicago. This is the third and final year that the Cubs Charities and Cubs Nike RBI play as the host before it goes to a different city next year, as Kamari Thomas pops that one up foul behind home. 2 years ago they won this tournament, and last year they fell to Cincinnati. The Reds Nike RBI program getting sent to a different regional this year. And the format last year and how it worked, as the 0-1 comes in, Thomas takes a slider down and in to even things out, was that depending on how you do in your regional, and really the Central Regional would consistently send 2 teams. As there's a ground ball to first, Jacobs plays it nicely. He slides and wins the race to the bag for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Harvey and Indy here in the second. But Jonah Weathers gets it to toe back into the batter's box here for White Sox Nike RBI. And Troy Williams talked about how bittersweet going last year was. Obviously they were thrilled and honored to be able to go, but also they were like, we didn't earn this trip here. We got in because we lost, and we got in on a technicality because of how the format worked a year ago.
Yeah, and to get on technicality, it can give that bittersweet taste in your mouths. This year, the Sox are trying to be the real deal. Of course, they're already 4-0 in that pool play and are in the driver's seat already, going up 3-0 quickly in this championship game. So that's something that you're looking at a manager and realizing that bittersweet taste that you had last year and winning on a technicality and going to that regional. It's something where you talk to your players and motivate them and say, hey, we weren't supposed to be here deservingly so. Let's actually say that we're going to be here on the right technicalities and show it off with our numbers and show it off with all of our skill set that the manager has since built.
Full count now with 2 away. Weathers, after this, singled and scored his last time up. Harvey's payoff. Hit hard on the ground to the right side. Hunt up with it, and that will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Weston Harvey in the second. Much more like what we saw in day 1 of pool play. We played 2, 3-0 White Sox Nike RBI. Ariel Caceres steps on in, 8-9 at the top of the order for Indianapolis Nike RBI in the visitors' half of the third. 3-0 the score. Cavari Thunderbird back to work for the Chi Sox, and that one is a slider that dips down and in for ball 1. Caceres didn't start the program's opening game in this tournament, but has since started every game since. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Thunderbird. Fastball, the velocity's been there. Command from time to time hasn't, but overall he's done a great job just using his defense behind him. Of the 6 outs, half of them have been non-strikeouts, which for him is a rarity.
Yeah, definitely a rarity there, as he's able to just sit in the pilot seat and just has so much good command.
That's fouled.
Fastball.
And it's 2-2. Another 92-mile-per-hour heater there from the left-hander. Saris is in right field. He's been busy out there. Sox with the ball in play a ton in this one. Called, strike 3, backdoor fastball. And there's one away.
Just freezes him up on the heater with that backdoor fastball, as that's his 4th strikeout. Catches him looking.
Carson Griggs represents the bottom of the lineup and is the designated hitter in this one. He's hitting for Weston Harvey. Thunderbird out of the windup, third base side, delivers. Tipped in there on a slider. He's gone slider heavy despite his usual tendencies during the high school season is fastball, curveball to righties, fastball, slider to lefties. Fastball just dipped below the zone, or I take that back, a late strike call there. It's 0-2.
Yeah, it's a different strategy for Thunderbird here.
There's the curve. He broke it out there with 2 strikes trying to get the chase. He did get the strikeout of Pine to end the inning on the curve. That was back in the 2nd. And the reason is that a lot of pitching coaches will tell you is if you're throwing a front door slider, which Thunderbird would naturally do because of the amount of right-handed hitters in the lineup. This is smacked on the ground at third. Thigpen cuts off the angle, charges, throws, and it's dropped. Downs had it pop in and out of his mitt. That would have been a fine defensive play by Philip Thigpen at third. Instead, it turns into an E3 in just the second base runner for Indianapolis as the lineup turns back on over itself.
Yeah, Thigpen makes an amazing grab right there. He does everything so right, and it just pops right out of the glove of the first baseman.
Throw was on target. So you couldn't even put that one on the throw as well. Here's Micah Rinchter-Kirikov. Walked and was stranded at second his last time up. Hard hit ground ball, that's just foul. Just to the left of the third base bag. Half a foot to the right, and that's extra bases for him.
Inches away from it being a fair ball. So close, but yet so far.
Nike RBI trying to get back in this game. They need some hits strung together. They haven't gotten a hit yet against Thunderbird. The 2 base runners have reached, like I said, Rinchter-Kirikov with a walk, and so you all just witnessed a couple moments ago the error by Downs at first. One ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Thunderbird out of the stretch. Misses high for fastball. And going back to our earlier conversation we were having about the White Sox and the trip to Florida last year, there's a coaching staff that told the guys to put a chip on the shoulder, and they said this year they think they have it. This is the short. Butler goes second for 1. Turn to first. Rinchter-Kirikov just too fast. He beats that one out. So fielder's choice for the second out. And the leadoff man for Indy is aboard for the second time as J.J. Combs comes on up looking to extend the inning.
Now batting, number 11, J.J. Combs.
Yeah, hopefully J.J. Combs is able to extend the inning here. You see a great display by Kirikov with his speed, as always. It's definitely tough trying to steal second with a lefty, though. He had to take a little less of a lead.
Safe there at first on the pickoff attempt from Thunderbird. He uses 2 different moves. He uses the slide step over, or he'll step off and throw as well. There's a big hook for strike 1. Combs swung through it. He was a looking strikeout victim back in the first to Thunderbird.
little bit off of that one.
Changeup drops in there. Yeah, that's the rare pitch. He's got 4 pitches. Fastball, curve, slider, change. He'll only break out the changeup if he's really feeling good. That's what his high school coach told us prior to the city championship game back in May. He tried to get him to speed up the hands with a fastball. 1-2, 2 away. Shakirkov on first, the pitch. Slider. A little bit 2 down and in. Calm saw it through all the way.
And I mean, with 4 strikeouts already, and you're already feeling yourself, why not just incorporate that changeup pitch?
Runner on the move, they have him hung up. Here Shakirkov is going to be awarded second base. I think he was out, but we're going to come in and say that Thunderbird balked.
Yeah, and that one seems to have already came set and then tossed it to first. Shakirkov is able to fool the pitcher there. Able to extend the inning even more so.
So after the balk, runner in scoring position for just the 2nd time today for Indianapolis. Happens to be Shakirkov again. He stole a base in the first after working that walk as Thunderbird steps off. Just missed. 3-2. There was a nasty slider. White Sox dugout. Players thought he had it. Three-two runner on the move. Outside ball 4, throw down to third, bounces in there. Shakirkov has himself his 2nd stolen base of this regional championship game, and they're on the corners with 2 away.
Man, is he so speedy as he's able to take advantage. Going from 2nd to 3rd. He's just a speedster on those bags.
So here's DJ Mendez to bat. He was one of the big difference makers offensively for this Indy side on Friday. 4 RBIs across the 2 games they played. And he fouls the first pitch off to the right side, which included a 3 RBI performance against the new Gary Nike RBI program. In the latter game of their doubleheader Friday night, Gary Nike RBI, they've been a program for 7 years. This was their first trip to the regionals this year. And that one's on the ground and foul. Nice sliding stop there by Thigpen to keep the baseball for Thunderbird. And you never know, you're going to get these new programs, at least new to the regional level, I should say. The senior baseball team had a tough go-around, 0-4 performance. However, they threw a no-hitter last night, a combined no-hitter, yet lost the game. That was one of those things that you really only see in the sport of baseball, and even then really high school baseball. But their softball team just won the regional title. Fly ball right field, hooking towards the foul line, and that one will carry on out of play. Looked like that ball had a shot of maybe hanging up and maybe dropping down the line, but the wind took it for a ride. So the count remains 0-2 with 2 away for DJ Mendez.
Yeah, and congratulations to the Gary softball team with it being their first trip here and 7 years in the making. Able to win that is just such an accomplishment, and it being done in the first time you're able to be in this tournament.
It's a cool story, and that's going to be a cool team to follow in the Nike RBI Softball World Series in a couple of weeks in August down in Vero Beach, Florida. 1-2 with 2 away. Fastball he missed up.
Talking about DJ and about what he's done so far at the plate, he's definitely trying to channel in all of that power and hopefully knock in a few more RBIs.
2-2. Weak tapper up along the third base line. Thigpen charges, low throw, it bounces in there, safe there. at first is Mendez. It'll bring in a run. Indy's on the board. It's 3-1.
DJ Mendez with a little bit of some weak contact on that left side. As Thigpen comes crashing on in, he's unable to make the play. Really good hustle movement. The ball just never really gets to first base.
It's an infield single for Mendez and an RBI. And it's also the first hit of the ball game for Indianapolis Nike RBI. The tying run now sits on first. J.J. Calms a very important run, though, on second base to make it a one-run game. As Will Jacobs cuts and misses at a good curveball downstairs.
Yeah, so Indy is able to finally catch a little bit of a break. End up that very early, but nonetheless no hitter. Get across the board, get some runs.
Slider, 0-2 on a good pitch there. He had Jacobs fooled.
The Thunderbird is able to just keep his composure. Just attack at Will Jacobs.
0-2. Called, strike 3. Backdoor slider from Thunderbird ends the frame and ends the early Indy threat. We've played 2.5. It's 3-1 White Sox Nike RBI. Back in a moment. Bottom 3. And the heart of the White Sox Nike RBI lineup is up. Demir Heidelberg followed by Jimmy Downs and Angel Castro. Weston Harvey back to work, and a first pitch fastball clips the outside corner for strike 1. Harvey, since that first inning, has looked so much more composed, and I'm sure, James, that the run they got back in the top half of this inning will really help.
Yeah, the run that they got back in that top inning will definitely help Harvey as he looks like a whole new person.
Ground ball sliding, stopped by Jacobs, gets on up. Harvey to cover, and he got him. Nice play at first by Will Jacobs. That's a big first out as they retire Heidelberg.
What an amazing play by Will Jacobs there. He comes in kind of tumbleweeding his way to the baseball, able to flip it on over and get the out.
So Jimmy Downs stands in. He had the error last inning. A sharply hit ground ball to short. It pops in and out of the mid of Mendez. Tries to recover the spin throw, and he's safe. Downs landed on the base awkwardly, though, and he's able to get up under his own power, thankfully. An awkward fall there. And we'll wait and see what the ruling on that is. Be a hit or an error. It is ruled an error. It's the first error of the game for Indianapolis.
Yeah, DJ Mendez just tries to throw it with all of his power to Will Jacobs. Will Jacobs does an amazing job to just even get a play off of the ball. He grabs it and tries to stretch, but there's no foot on the bag.
Angel Castro flies that one down the right field line, and that's way foul. Castro singled in a run his last time up, but was stranded at third in the first. White Sox Nike RBI looking to get that run back that they gave up at the top of this inning. Throw over and safe in there is Downs. Thankfully is okay. 0-1. Fastball up.
Yeah, what Weston Harvey wants right now is a very quick inning, kind of like what he had in that second. Doesn't want to replicate what he did in that first. I don't think any pitcher really wants to.
Cut on and miss. It's 1-2. Harvey threw just 21 pitches as the tournament opener for Indianapolis. Struck out 3, walked 1, did not give up a run or a hit in just 1 inning of work. Castro staying alive here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away.
Good work by Castro as he's able to just fight off the baseball.
Harvey out of the slide step, a pop up to the right side. In foul territory goes Caceres. Lot of foul ground here. He slides and it pops in and out of his mitt. That would have been a superb catch in foul ground. Instead, it's another strike and another foul ball and another chance in life for Castro.
Yeah, Castro just has to play the waiting game with that one as Caceres runs so fast out there. So close to making that grab, but it pops out of his glove. Castro gets another shot.
1-2. Castro off the end of the bat to third. Pine has it scored out of his mitt as well, and he doesn't have a play. Back-to-back errors on the left side of this Indy infield. See 2 runners aboard here with only 1 gone.
Yeah, two runners aboard here with only 1 gone. That's very unfortunate if you're Indianapolis right now. Yeah, just back-to-back errors on that left side of the infield. Really what you don't want to see.
And how about that at bat, though, from Angel Castro? I mean, he fought off 3-4 really tough strikeout pitches from Harvey and found his way aboard as Ireland on the ground to second. Could be 2. Hunt to Menace for 1. Turn to first, not in time. Ireland's too fast. And so out number 2 comes on the Ireland fielder's choice. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but Downs advances to third safely.
Yeah, Downs advances to third. Ireland being able to beat out the force play there. But talking about Castro and what he was able to do with that ball, just fighting off a lot of pitches, that's what you want out of any hitter, especially within the White Sox organization.
Designated hitter Evian Rodriguez comes back up. He drove in a run his last time up in the first. Runner on the move for second as he takes that one up. Throw down to second base is going to be cut off by the shortstop Mendez on a design pick play there for Indianapolis. So safe there at second is Ireland with a stolen bag. Rodriguez batting for Chicago's pitcher, Kavari Thunderbird. Takes that one. Mid-80s fastball for a strike.
Yeah, just talking about that pick play just a little bit earlier, Lockhart is able to throw it into Mendez very quickly. Downs waiting on it.
1-2, fastball right down the heart of the plate.
Nothing else to do. If you're the Chicago White Sox coach, you're happy with how that situation went. Now you got runners in both scoring positions.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew a fastball right by him. And that ends the inning. A couple of errors for Indianapolis defensively, but Chicago isn't able to capitalize. We've played 3. 3-1, Sox on top. Top of the 4th inning. Carter Hunt to lead it off for Indianapolis. 5, 6, 7 for Indy Nike RBI. A team down by 2 in search of their first regional championship in program history, as that one is swung on and missed for strike 1. They're able to get a run in their first hit last inning offensively. They had an opportunity with a tying run on first base, but couldn't get him in. 0-1 from Thunderbird. Swing and a miss. High cheddar, and it's 0-2.
And Carter Hunt just having some difficult time making any contact with the ball whatsoever. Good use of a timeout there.
Hunt flew out to left, his only time up at the plate. And came back in the 2nd inning.
Thunderbird just looks to wheel and deal.
Here's 0-2. Slider broke a little bit too much, and it's 1-2. He stays alive.
One of those pitchers as a hitter that is very deceptive and just very hard to hit in general, as it just cuts on in on you.
1-2. Slider rode up and in. Thunderbirds so far, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks issued here through now 3+ officially. Trying to finish the job here and get a 6th strikeout. Third base side, the lefty fires. This is in again.
The past 3 pitches, with the exception of it, the second one being a little bit higher up, they're all kind of leaking inside.
3-2. Ball 4. He tried to drop a curveball off the table. Broke a little bit too late. And it's a leadoff walk for Carter Hunt.
Some great patience by Carter Hunt there. He whiffs at the first 2, then waits until Thunderbird is able to pitch to him. There's no pitches in the zone, and he's able to just securely make his way to first base.
Foul back. There's nothing in 1. Lockhart grounded out to second. His lone time up. Fastball missed in. We'll play it up the middle. Stigpen plays off the line at 3rd. Slider. A late break there. Got in there, and it's 1-2. Missed away. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first here. Thunderbird and company clinging to a 2-run lead here in this regional final. Popped up out of play right side. White Sox Nike RBI can't complete the sweep of the overall tournament like they were hoping to, with sending 3 teams to the final. Baseball, both divisions, senior and juniors in the softball team. Baseball juniors won earlier, as nice job by Lockhart staying alive here. And Thunderbird getting frustrated, just trying to finish the job here. Their softball team losing a little bit ago across the street at Flames Field here on the campus of UIC. The 3-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. That's going to be an out. Heads up base running from Carter Hunt, sees him slide into second base safely. So it's a strikeout of Lockhart for the first out, but a runner in scoring position here for Dariel Caceres.
Yeah, and if you're John Boggs right here, you're talking to Ryan Lockhart on his bat. The one thing that you have to put in mind is that he was able to battle for such a long time, and there's no complaints in that aspect of that bat, even though he wasn't able to reach base.
Jack Pine is the hitter. Carter Caceres on deck as that one strike one. Pine a strikeout victim back in the second. 1 of 5 for Thunderbird entering the frame. He just picked up his 6th a moment ago. Popped him up, left side of the infield. Butler makes the catch for the second out.
Butler able to just glide on in and camp on under that baseball as it flies up just
Out to bat. Number 3, Ariel Casado.
a little while. So wait 2 to 3 seconds.
Ariel Caceres struck out looking to lead off the 3rd inning. Stands on in. He takes that one below the zone. A fastball there. Hunt left inning for a walk. Later stole second on the drop 3rd strike to Lockhart. So 1-0. 2-0. Two on the count. And for Indianapolis, we talked so much about the Sox goals for this tournament. Wendy was in a very weird spot. 2 years ago, they went 3-1, but because of the tiebreakers in this tournament's format, as the count goes 3-1, and Thunderbird stumbles a little bit there on the bump. Let's hope he's okay. Castro's going to go out and chat with him, make sure he's all right. As I was saying, though, 3-1 at this is showing in 2022. They're on the wrong side of the tiebreakers. They're actually playing their final pool play game essentially for another team. If they had won, which they did win the game, then Cleveland rather than Cincinnati went to the title game. Last year, kind of a mixed bag. They went 2-2. They had some really good things happen, some great performances at points, but then also other times it was a real struggle for them. They won a game 15-1, but lost a couple of games late as well, as that's a grounder back to the mound. Thunderbird to first, and that will retire the side. Nothing comes, the out walk for Carter Hunt. We're halfway through this one. 3-1, Chicago leads. Last of the 4th is upon us. 3-1 as Philip Thigpen cracks that one on the ground at 3rd. Pine up with it. He was playing in on the infield grass, and he makes the play for the out. Kevin Blader and James Winkin with you. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be. Proud to be a part of this simulcast with the Marquee Sports Network team on their app, and as well as for anyone watching from out of market on the Windy City Sports Network. Happy to bring you this RBI regional final here in Chicago, Illinois. Demarion Butler takes that one high for a ball. So a 1-0 count from Weston Harvey. Curveball. Misses downstairs, 2-0.
Weston Harvey's been able to pick himself up after the 3-hole that he's had in that bottom of the first.
Popped up, right side. Jacobs screams for it. He makes the catch right near the sidewall, beyond the first base dugout, and there's 2 gone in the inning.
A great hustle play, and of course the yelling by Jacobs is showing the sense of communication. As they're able to talk things through and get 2 quick outs.
So 2 gone, top of the order, Kamari Thomas. And he's gonna have to wait a moment as Harvey wants a new baseball. Both pitchers have been really good so far. That first inning's really what's done the bulk of the damage here for Weston Harvey. Since the first, Chicago has no runs on no hits. Their only base runners have been via 2 errors made by the Indianapolis infielders, the shortstop DJ Menez and the third baseman Jack Pine.
Yeah, and those 2 errors back to back, usually on most teams they're tending to hurt them, and the White Sox are usually going to score a lot of runs, but not on this instance.
This is in the air, left center field. Calm's giving chase, and he makes a great running catch in the alleyway to end the inning. That ball had some late carry to it, and Calm's had to make a acrobatic catch on the run to send Thomas back to the dugout. We played 4, now 3 up, 3 down inning for Harvey out there for Indy. The Nike RBI team from Indiana looks to try to tie the game when you come back. Thunderbird back to works, and he gets a strike there to Carson Griggs. Number 9 holes man, ball by the top of the Indy lineup, which is 1 hit to show for it, but they're within 2 runs. As Griggs floats that one back up the middle and through. Ireland gave it a good try, but wasn't able to get a piece of that baseball. It's a leadoff single there for the 9-hole man.
Yeah, and that's what you really want. Griggs is able to just whack it on out there. A little bit of a floater to shallow center field as Ireland chases the ball, not able to really make any play of it.
So with runner on first, Micah Rienstra-Kirikov comes on up. He's reached on a walk and a fielder's choice and has scored Indianapolis' lone run in this ballgame.
And as the home run derby champion, you'd assume a lot of power is going to be used on this pitch.
Hit hard on the ground at third. Thigpen snags it to second for 1. The turn to first. They got him. 5, 4, 3, and there's 2 away.
Amazing play by the Chicago White Sox RBI team. As Ringshrift Kirikov blows a tire going all the way to first. There's a sense of quick urgency.
So J.J. Combs, with the single wiped off the board, stands in. Makes that one inside for a ball. Combs 0 for 1 officially. Struck out looking in the first, but he did walk his last trip. Tapped weakly. Castro will field it with the bare hand. The catcher slings it to first, and that will end the inning. Nice job by the White Sox Nike RBI defense. A huge double play followed by a great defensive play from the catcher. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1, still our score. Bottom of inning number 5 here from Curtis Granderson Stadium on the campus of UIC. 3-1. White Sox Nike RBI out in front. Jonah Weathers to lead off the frame. 2-3-4. Corner infielder. And the third baseman Jack Pine playing in. We saw him do that to Thigpen to lead off the 4th inning. They're being mindful of the bunt. Here's the 1-0. Weathers lays off another fastball that misses away. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Jonah Weathers just looking for his pitch to hit.
2-0. You like that one. Cut and miss at a changeup.
So a little bit out in front of that one.
Three balls, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat in the air. Caceres chasing in. Has it for the out. Back-to-back flyouts induced there by Harvey.
And Caceres has to make a little bit of ways just for him to get that ball. It's carrying just a little. Keeps up in the air. He'll make a fantastic grab.
Swinging a foul tip for Heidelberg, strike 1. 0 for 2, reached and scored on a fielder's choice, grounded out his last time up. And goes behind 0-2.
Harvey just keeps being more and more dominant on the bump. Not really giving any of the Chicago White Sox another chance at scoring any runs as he keeps his pace.
1-2. Grounded back up the middle. Mendez ranging to his left. His throw. Did he hold it back? Jacobs did. Nice stretch there at first by Will Jacobs, and there's 2 gone.
Well, Jacobs has to make a very awkward stretch as the ball isn't totally on line. He's able to just hold on to the ball, hold on to the bag, and secure the out.
Now batting, number 44, Jimmy Down.
So with 2 away, Jimmy Downs steps up. Reached on an error in the 3rd inning, but was stranded at 3rd. Downs grounds that one foul left side.
Good old pick play by the third base coach there.
Nothing and 2.
You know, big difference between the high school level and a lot of college and MLB. You don't have any bat boys or.
That's strike 3. And that will end the inning. Weston Harvey has retired 7 straight for Indy Nike RBI and is keeping his team in this ball game. It's a 3-1 score after 5. Welcome back to Curtis Granderson Stadium. 3-1 White Sox Nike RBI on top of Indianapolis Nike RBI here in the Senior Baseball Central Regional Tournament Championship game as part of the MLB's Nike RBI program, helping to revive baseball within inner cities across America. Winner of this game goes to the Nike RBI World Series down in Vero Beach, Florida at the Jackie Robinson Training Complex, aka Dodgertown. White Sox have been several times. The senior team won the World Series in 2022, back when it was just called the RBI program. As there's a fly ball in the right field, drifting back Heidelberg. He has it. That's his first assignment of the day defensively, and it's the first out of the 6th inning.
Heidelberg able to just use his backdrop and secure the catch.
Will Jacobs, the first baseman, with the massive 2-run home run on Friday in pool play. 5 RBIs across the 2 games played against Kansas City and Gary. Two-run homer against Kansas City in the top of the 3rd inning. Really busted it open. There's a strike and it's 2-1. Indy would go on to win that game 12-0 in 4 innings. So if the run rules that the tournament has, Jacobs on the ground, backhanded by Thigpen, but that's a foul ball. And Thunderbird has another batter in a 2-strike hole.
Yeah, Thunderbird has had a lot of batters in that 2-strike hole, making sure of ways of work and able to get a lot of strikeouts under his belt.
6 Ks so far for the lefty from Kenwood Academy. Now the lineup is 2-2 offering. On a couple of hops to second, Ireland. Flipped it over there. Jacobs hustling made it a closer play than it probably should have been, but either way, there's the second out of the inning.
Will Jacobs is just on his horse as always, able to hustle on down the first. Routine play by the White Sox infield, able to just flip it to the first baseman and easily secure the second out.
Hey, Bella.
Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Carter Hunt.
Hey, Bella Pookie. Hi, Bella Rollins.
That one's downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, they didn't fully classify that they were going on a revenge tour, but the vibe you got from this White Sox team coming into this tournament was, we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder because we know what we can be. And obviously, like we talked about earlier in our game in this show, the disappointment of the way they got to Florida last year. They felt like they didn't earn it. They didn't earn that opportunity. They didn't earn that trip. And they want to prove a lot of people wrong, and a lot of the veterans of this group are determined to get back there and get back via a championship here in Chicago like they celebrated 2 years ago in the senior division. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a pitch in the dirt. Castro picks it up, throw to first, and that will end the inning. 7 strikeout of the game for Kavari Thunderbird, and 6 strong innings for him. We go to the last of the 6 right after this. Class of the 6 here. Angel Castro, Joey Ireland, and Evian Rodriguez. And Castro, first pitch swinging on the ground is short. Mendez up with it to throw to first in time by a couple of steps. And one pitch, one away here in the White Sox Nike RBI 6th inning. I hope this is their last time at the dish today offensively. They are 3 outs away from a Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament Championship.
Now batting, number 22, Joey Ireland.
So Ireland, who's 0 for 2, grounded out to short and reached on a fielder's choice. Stands in. That's a foul ball. It's important to note as well that White Sox Nike RBI have not had a hit since the first inning.
Yeah, no hit since the first inning, which is very important to know. You're looking for something here just to get more of a cushion, than you have 3 outs away from winning a championship. So getting more of that cushion for your pitching staff is going to definitely help with that mentality. Harvey has just been dominant ever since that first inning.
Check swing, no swing. And it's 1-2. Harvey has done a great job settling in. Hasn't allowed a hit, hasn't given up a walk, and there is the first hit since the first inning for White Sox Nike RBI. Ireland down the left field line and into the corner, and he's got himself a 1-out double. That breaks the streak there for Harvey. He had retired 8 consecutive Chicago hitters before that extra base knock.
Yeah, Harvey makes a good point with his pitching as he's able to get it across, but Ireland having such a great bat. Going to make some quick contact, drive it into that left field corner, get himself aboard in a second. And quick to note, there's live action in the both bullpens.
Rodriguez on the ground, right side. Hunt charges, gobbles it up, and he goes to first with it. Ireland advances to third on the throw, and there's 2 away. So Phil Thigpen looks to drive in a key insurance run. They're up by 2 right now, which I know qualifies for insurance, but with that Indy offense, I think you'd feel a lot better with 3 than you do with 2. As Thigpen swings first pitch and flies that one deep left field. Calm's going back. He turns and it's over his head, and it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Ireland scores. Philip Thigpen comes through and makes it 4-1 Chicago.
Well, an amazing swing of the bat by Philip Thigpen. He's able to just make some quick work that bounces over the fence. Good old ground rule double. And as you were saying, Kevin, yeah, 2 is greater than 3. You know it's so greater than 3, 4. So the bigger the number, the more smooth sailing their pitcher can be up at the bunt.
Line drive, right center field. That splits the gap and will roll all the way to the wall. Thigpen in to score. Butler can fly. They throw the stop sign on for him to go to third very late, but he's able to dive back into second base. It's 5-1 White Sox Nike RBI as the 9-hole man comes through for his first base hit of the game.
And a great base hit to be his first base hit, an extra base hit, as he's able to just cruise on in there. Thinking about third base coach is able to put up the stop sign very late. He cruises back on the second, sliding on down. Butler, man, he's able to just hit that into the opposite gap.
5-1. 3 hits in the frame. Like we were talking about earlier, they hadn't gotten a hit since Evian Rodriguez RBI single with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. That was the last hit. Mari Thomas represents the top of the order for the White Sox.
Yeah, and Harvey had been in control ever since that first. Now it just kind of seems to be falling apart a little bit. As it's bottom of the 6th, and the Chicago White Sox RBI team is able to keep their control, keep their composure, and make sure that they're able to have more of a pillow to work with.
Popped up, foul ground, and just sneaks over the netting. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 away here. And time is called as Harvey and Lockhart come out together. One, two. Good lead from Thomas. Thomas doubled the lead off the White Sox offensive performance today. Later came around to score. The curveball misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base in Demarion Butler. 2 crucial insurance runs have scored already for Chicago in this frame. Look to make it 3 though. Runner on the move for third. Pitch is a call. Strike 3. And that will end the inning. A couple of big extra base hits from the bottom of the order. Thigpen and Butler combined to make it 5-1. White Sox Nike RBI 3 outs away from a regional title right after this. Top 7, White Sox Nike RBI, 3 outs away from another trip to the Nike RBI World Series. New arm into the game. It's Connor Ellentenney. The right-hander replaces Kavari Thunderbird after 6 strong innings of 1-run, 2-hit baseball. Ellentenney attends Mount Carmel, class of 2026, 6'3" right-hander. Smacked on the ground, right side foul. Downs dove for it when it was already out of play.
A really great outing by Thunderbird in the last 6 innings that he's had, only giving up 1. And the White Sox 3 outs away, as he said, securing this victory in this championship game.
One. Hanging breaking ball. It's smashed off the siding of the first base dugout, and it's quickly 1-2. We talked with Troy Williams, the White Sox manager of community baseball programs, and he talked about some of the players on this roster, saying they're going to go down there with vengeance this year, and they know they had work to do after last year's performance, and the guys that are going to want to win this regional more than they have in years past because of last year's result. Here's the 2-2. Tapped foul. Lockhart staying alive. He talked about guys like Kamari Thomas and Jonah Weathers. He talked about how much they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder and with vengeance on their mind. I think they have for sure.
Yeah, and it seems to just be a huge revenge tour for the Chicago White Sox RBI club.
Ground ball back up the middle. Ireland, a sliding backhand stop. The jump throw, not in time. Lockhart, I think, beat it out. Otherwise, they would have ruled it that Downs had come off the bag. It's an infield single there. That was a great play, though, by Joey Ireland.
Yeah, amazing play by Joey Ireland. He has to slide and throw it all the way from his knees on the opposite side. Downs goes all the way up. The ball just keeps hanging up, and he's not able to come down to the ground as quick enough.
Indy's awaiting a courtesy runner. And they finally get one here. Jack Pine comes on up. Runner on first. He's 0 for 2. Strikeout and pop out. Naves off that one, down and away. Ellentenney does a good job finding the strike zone early out of the bullpen in a high pressure situation like this. Fouled off. The count evens out. Caceres on deck for Indianapolis. That one gets in and out of the mitt. Runner breaks for second. Castro's throw down there is on time, and they got him. Angel Castro. Huge throw. One away here in the 7th.
What an amazing hustle play by Angel Castro. It pops right out of his glove, and he's able to just snap it on to second base, making sure that there's no runners on the bags anymore. White Sox catch a break.
2-2 now. It's 3-1, excuse me, after that last offering. Three and 2. Fastball outside corner. Ellentenney.
Some great frame movement as well by Castro behind the dish.
Quickly tapped up on the third base line. That's a foul ball. Great play by Thigpen.
Yeah, very great play by Thigpen. That's some good old baseball IQ. It looks like it's going to be fair, and then on the last bits of its life, it's able to be called foul.
He knows that ball is, if that ball's fair, he's not making the play either way, so might as well try to wait it out as long as possible. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He fooled him with an off-speed pitch down and away. 2 gone in the 7th, and the Sox are not away. Daniel Caceres is the last hope for Indianapolis.
Great off speed by Ellen Tenney there. He's able to fool the batter. Make sure of it being their second out and 1 away from a clinching championship.
Strike 1. Indy goes with a pinch hitter here instead of Caceres. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. It's Jorge Mendoza, the pinch hitter here. Castro goes out for a quick chat. So Caceres finishes 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a groundout. We got our eyes on Mendoza off the bench yesterday against Indianapolis. Reached on an error and scored. 3 balls, no strikes. Just missing low with the fastball. All 4 the game continues as Mendoza off the bench and on base with a walk. And Carson Griggs, the DH, will come on up now.
How bad? Number 12, Carson Griggs.
I'm sure Griggs will definitely be waiting for his pitch as Elatendi has already thrown 4 balls in a row.
There's strike 1. Elatendi just gets one back for confidence sakes. 2 years removed from an RBI World Series title. They're on the precipice of going back. They went last year as regional runners-up. When they won it all in 22, they won the regional. One and 2. They're a strike away. Right-hander sets, first base side. Runner moves. That one breaks upstairs. Mendoza to second base. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouled off first base side. Elatendi trying to slam the door shut after 6 strong innings from Kavari Thunderbird. He's ready. The 2-2 runner goes. He struck him out. The White Sox revenge tour will make a stop in Florida as Chicago wins the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. White Sox Nike RBI is headed back to Florida as regional champions for the 2nd time in 3 years. They're back for the 3rd consecutive year. As Elatendi gets the strikeout of Carson Griggs to end the ball game. Your final is 5-1. And Chicago White Sox Nike RBI will be raising a banner again.
And such a great outing by the Chicago White Sox. It was definitely anybody's game up until the last moment as they were able to put up a 2-piece in the bottom of the 6th. Cruise on by, making sure that they were the champions in this revenge tour. Still very much so alive.
5-1 the final. 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Indy. 1 run on 3 hits with 2. And for White Sox Nike RBI, the goal this weekend was simple: win the regional after coming up short last year, and they did just that. A clean sweep, 5-0 here in Chicago, Illinois, in their hometown, and they are on their way back to the Nike RBI World Series down in Vero Beach, Florida in a couple weeks' time. The Sox set themselves up well with 3 runs in the first inning. Didn't get a hit until those 2 crucial insurance runs came across the score, James.
Yeah, those 2 crucial insurance runs definitely came to help them and build up that momentum for the top of the 7th, where they were able to shut down the door and make sure that revenge tour just leaves off on a positive note. No sourness in their taste this year. No sourness in their taste buds this year.
That's right. White Sox Nike RBI won it by a final of 5-1. And that's going to do it for us here in the broadcast booth. It's been a great time spending this tournament weekend with you all as well. It's been an honor to be here, not just this year, but the last 3 years as well, as Chicago Cubs Charities and the Cubs organization help host this event before it goes to a new city next year. The White Sox Nike RBI program, champions of the region yet again for the 2nd time in the last 3 years. They win it 5-1. For my partner James Winkin, I'm Kevin Malater. We thank you all so much for watching, and a special thank you to all the fine people at Marquee Sports Network for helping us out all week long in preparation for this simulcast that you all have been watching on the Marquee Sports Network app, as well as the Windy City Sports Network's live YouTube channel for those outside of the Marquee Sports Network territory. Once again, he's James Winkin. I'm Kevin Malater. We thank you so much for watching the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network and the Marquee Sports Network app.